Welcome back to our series on crafting for mental health. I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service, your family and consumer science agent. And as we talked before, crafting can have a positive impact on your mental health. Finishing a project, being successful, learning a new skill, or just taking the time to sit and relax can be huge effects onto our mental health and the pattern of just what we do on a regular day. Last time we talked about identifying some positive words and putting a craft together that has that phrase or that word that speaks to us. We can continue with that today to go along with what we're going to talk about, and that is paper crafting. Paper is one of those things that most of us have around us in some form or fashion. Maybe it's leftover things from a project, maybe it's gifts that you received, that special stationery that you just quite haven't gotten back to writing a letter, or just something that's stuck in a drawer. Just regular old typing paper will do a lot of what we're going to talk about here today. So some of the things I want you to think about that I don't think we as adults always do enough of, that can really build our creativity, keep our mind engaged, and give us that opportunity to just kind of breathe and relax, is coloring. Now, whether you prefer, you can do crayons, colored pencils, markers. Some people really just like a set of Sharpies with all the different colors, but so they're using a permanent type marker. Whatever that tip is that you would like to use, you can do for your coloring. And there's phenomenal adult coloring books out there now, but I like some of just the kid coloring books. Sometimes it's fun to just sit and color in Spider-Man or whoever that happens to be that I can find left over from when my kids were little. These are some that I picked up pretty inexpensive, just a couple bucks. Have these great, they're all animals, but have these great patterns to them that you can follow along with. As I said, this is an actual book that you can purchase and take and have, or you can just print your own. There's all kinds online that you can go in and just print out different patterns. This one has some fish and some birds and things in it. This one I started, it's all different types of flowers. You can see we're just using the marker for different colors and picking out different patterns that you like to do. This is one that I just went ahead, it made me feel a little bit like that bandana print. So I used the red and the blue, and then I folded it into an envelope, which I'm going to show you how to do here in just a moment. So paper, we're surrounded by it. We can use, there's wrapping paper, there's scrapbooking paper. Scrapbooking and journaling, fantastic ways to work on your mental health. Take those photos that you've got shoved in a box, pull some of your favorite memories out, put those onto a scrapbook page that you can save forever, and there you have it, a finished project that may or may not take you very long to put together. You can pick up, I picked up, this was just an actual packet for $1 of just scraps of paper, okay? Some of the things we talk about you can do is just collaging. You just tear it into pieces and build, if you want to build just a pattern, if you want to make an actual picture, hey, here's some mountains, here's the sea, whatever you want that to look like, just plain old glue, put that together. There's some options with that, but there's lots of textures and patterns here, just kind of fun to write on because it's a textured piece of paper. So those are the kind of things that we find what works for us and what can be soothing for us in what we like to feel and what we like to see. So that's one of the fun things about paper is there's so many options. And then this is actually origami paper. When we talk about folding things, we're always going to start from a square. Okay, that's how we make it come out like it's supposed to come out. But so again, if you just have some typing paper at home, just plain old white paper, cut it off, make it square, and then you can fold it into whatever shape you like. Now there are tons and tons of origami patterns. These are some 4-H clovers that our kiddos made a while back in our 4-H origami project. All different kinds of cool and fun things you can make if you really get into origami. For me, I don't always see the patterns in the folds, so it can be kind of difficult. I'm going to show you how to make just a basic envelope. Now, if you wanted to make it out of wrapping paper to put a card with a gift that you're giving, or if you wanted to, again, color something fun that you've done and you don't want to throw this away, you want to use it for something. So I'm going to put a card or a note in this and give it to a friend or even send it in the mail. And of course, we've talked before in one of our other series about card making and some simple ideas and ways that you can put cards together. And you can purchase all different types of paper cards already cut to size and made for you, or grab that cardstock that you picked up for another project that you've got stuck in there, fold it over and make your own. Paper crafting can be as inexpensive or as outrageously expensive as you want it to be. Okay, we're gonna use paper in some of the crafts we're doing over the next couple of weeks as well. But just to get started, basic, today we're gonna just fold the envelope. So I went ahead and picked a piece of scrapbook paper because it's a little larger. This, of course, was cut 2 square out of a standard sheet of paper because I had printed it off the computer. And so I think it was about 8 inches because I did kind of trim it down. So it wasn't the full 8.5 square. This is 12 by 12, and I'm only folding it with this one right now because when I fold with these, it makes it a little smaller. This, I think, will be hopefully a little easier for you to see. So what we're gonna start with is we're gonna go corner to corner, and we're not gonna make a hard crease here. We're just gonna make a little crease here in the middle, just a pinch. Open it up, and we're gonna go the other 2 corners. So if it helps you to say right to left, if it helps you do top to bottom, whatever works for you. Again, we're gonna lay it down and make a pinch. And what that's gonna give us, let me get a pencil so I can show you that a little better. Here in the middle is an X, okay, where I pinched it together and made that crease. So now I'm gonna lay it out, and I'm gonna take my right corner and fold it to the middle of the X and make a straight edge. I'm gonna take my left corner to the middle of the X and make a straight edge. So this is what I've got, almost a diamond shape. Okay, right into the middle to that X. So then, to start the next piece, I'm gonna take my top and fold it down to the middle, and I'm just gonna make a crease. Okay, that's a marker for me where I can see where the top's gonna fold over. And then I'm gonna fold it back up so I can work with my bottom section. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom. I'm gonna fold it up all the way to the middle. So that I have a crease on the bottom, this is the bottom, to show me where I need to fold. And then I'm gonna open that one back up. So now, this is where it starts getting tricky. I'm gonna take my bottom and I'm gonna fold the sides in so that this side comes up flush with that crease. I didn't quite get it straight. Give me just a second. Let me fix that for you. Okay, so I fold it over, match this edge to make a flap right there. And then I'm gonna come over here and do that same thing on the other side. Okay, so I've made those flaps on each side. And then I'm gonna open those back up, and I'm gonna take this corner, that's gonna actually be the bottom corner, and fold it back to that first crease that I made, right there in the middle. Okay, so now I have a lot of creased lines that I can work with. So the next step that we're gonna do is what we call the mountain fold. And so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take where these 2 edges are and there's a crease, and where right now it kind of folds this way, I'm gonna tuck that in and fold this, basically turn it inside out, okay? And then I'm gonna do that same thing on the other side. Now this is where this paper wasn't exactly square, so I didn't get as big of flaps as I would have liked. But it basically is gonna fold down so that I have the flaps on the side and this kind of flap here in the middle. And what that's gonna do is basically make me a little pocket. So that now I can fold this up, and I'm gonna just take my sides and tuck them into that flap. And that's what makes the envelope. So what that allows me to do is fold an envelope with no glue. Now, if you're not big on the, oh, I don't want to worry about tucking things in, I don't want to worry about making that glue dot, a glue stick, just a little bit of tape, and then you can just stop before you ever make the actual little pocket. And you can just fold that up and put a little tape on the sides, and it will hold your envelope together. And then of course you have the top flap that just comes down and makes the whole thing. Okay, and so again, you can see on this one, the sides tuck in. There's no tape or extra stuff. It's all just popped together from the folds. Kind of fun, something different, something to kind of focus on and do. Once you get the hang of it, where to make the folds, you can make a bunch relatively quickly, something you can focus on just for kind of fun, for relaxing. Take time to color. If you want to do your lettering on your fancy paper, maybe use your decals and some of the things we talked about last time. That's excellent ideas, good uses of your time to help you relax. Make time to do the things that you would like to do that are going to be positive for your mental health. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service. You can sign up to receive our newsletter, curryextension.nmsu.edu. Click on Family Health and Wellness and request newsletter. You can get that as an email or through the mail hard copy. It's going to include information and instructions that go along with this video series, as well as other things that are going on in our county. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you here next time.